What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild challenge here at NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today, we are doing a challenge that I've loved in the past. It's something that I pretty much do every year in 2K. I typically do it multiple times a year in 2K, and that is the two-team fantasy draft rebuild challenge. So if this is not something you've ever seen me or any other 2K YouTuber do, basically, it's pretty simple the way it goes. I do a fantasy draft rebuild with two different teams. One's from the East, one's from the West. And the goal is to try to make them meet up in the NBA Finals. Some rules without this are that I cannot trade between the two teams. Basically, the only pretty much the big rule, if you will. There's really no other restrictions that I do limit myself to. But obviously, getting two teams to an NBA Finals in the same year is not an easy goal to accomplish. So I'm going to go ahead and randomly select the teams. I'll show you guys that in just a second. We're going to let the CPU draft everybody for us. I want to make this one as hard as possible. It's not as hard as some other challenges I do want to do. And of course, I do want to hear from you guys as well. If you guys have any challenges you really want to see me do, let me know down below in the comments section. Of course, if you guys are new around here, feel free to stick around a while. I always stutter on that. Hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you. And without further ado, man, let's hopefully get a couple good squads. Hopefully the CPU does as well. It's a snake-styled fantasy draft, so there's not going to be any really loaded teams, any teams that suck. So let's get into it. All right, so obviously the new menu layout doesn't really allow me to randomly select a team, if you will, but if I head over here to roster, and then I can scroll through like this with my eyes closed just so you guys know I'm not cheating or anything like that, we should be able to go ahead and get two pretty good teams, one from each conference. So we will start out with, obviously, the first one does not matter. We don't have a team from either conference yet. We'll stop in 3, 2, and 1. We end up with the Portland Trailblazers, so that is our Western Conference team, and now we will go ahead and select a team from the Eastern Conference, hopefully, and we'll stop this one in 3, 2, and 1. And that's the Jazz. They're in the West, and 3, 2, and 1. We end up with the 76ers. So it's going to be the 76ers and the Portland Trailblazers. Obviously, I have no idea what pick either of these teams have. We're going to hop into the draft. I'm going to sim the entire thing. I'll see you guys with both these rosters. So I have not yet looked at either of these teams' rosters. We'll start out with the 76ers here. See how the CPU did for us. Domantas Sabonis, Anthony Edwards, TJ Warren, Colin Sexton, Devontae Graham, Danilo Gallinari. Not a bad team. There's definitely some good talent here. We got Pat Williams down here as well. This is something I can work with. I'm not mad about this at all. Domantas Sabonis, 25 years old. Anthony Edwards, only 20. Former #1 overall pick back in 2020. I think we got a lot of work with this team. Now let's go ahead and check out the Trailblazers. We got James Harden, Draymond Green, Mitchell Robinson, Jordan Poole, Ivica Zubac, Zeke Naji. So they went ahead and with the first overall pick we had with this Portland Trailblazers team, they took kind of an established star already, if you will, in James Harden. We obviously have Draymond Green, one of the better defensive players in the entire league. Young center, Mitchell Robinson, young shooting guard here in Jordan Poole. Probably going to be the two I kind of build around. Unfortunately, the thing with James Harden is he does tend to regress just a little bit in kind of a weird way, if you will. So that is something we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on. But he definitely should be good for at least a season or two before he starts regressing. Maybe too much where I wouldn't really want to pay him the money that he would cost. But again, I'm excited about both these teams. I might make a minor move or two with both these squads. If I do, I'll show you. If not, I'll see you guys with these rotations. So the first trade we're going to make is actually going to be a pretty big one. I know I mentioned that we might have a couple small-ish trades, but when I went over the roster, this one kind of made a little bit of sense. And let me explain why to you. TJ Warren's on a 1-year expiring deal. I'm already starting Anthony Edwards at the small forward spot. I think that's a guy who can potentially be a star for us in the long run in 3 years. So he's going to be there. I'm not a huge fan of Kevin Huerter, if I'm being honest. Maybe he could have been a good bench piece for us. And then Devontae Graham is basically getting replaced by Ben Simmons, for who some reason just turns really good in this game. So Ben Simmons coming over from the New York Knicks. We're also acquiring Blake Griffin. Simmons will be our new point guard. We're going to have a little bit of a new-looking rotation, if you will. We're still going to keep Goran Dragic as our backup point guard. Not a kind of great shooting between them at the backup and starting point guard spot. Colin Sexton and Damian Lee, not the greatest options at starting, caliber guys, but I like Colin Sexton a lot, and I honestly think he could still be pretty good for us. Anthony Edwards does need a new backup, so we'll make at least one more trade. Definitely could maybe include Ish Smith again. Doesn't have to be anybody that great. Or I could do something here. I can maybe move Patrick Williams down to the small forward spot, maybe get him some minutes. Honestly, not a bad idea. What's his overall if I do that? Let's see, overall-wise. If I move you to small forward, you stay at a 74 overall. So, you know what? Why not? I'll just go ahead and let Patrick Williams go ahead and get the backup minutes here. I think it's probably best for development purposes anyways if he gets those minutes. So, try to maximize, what was he, former 4th overall pick in 2020 as well. So, we got the #1 and #4 overall picks back from the 2020 draft. Blake Griffin will be the backup here to Danilo Gallinari, and then Domantas Sabonis and Alperen Sengun will be my two centers. So those moves are made now with Philadelphia. We're going to go ahead and, kind of evaluate a little bit the Portland Trailblazers side of this. We have a trade or two. I'll see you guys with those. So we're not making any more trades. We have both rotations set here in year number one. Neither of these teams are bad. I think they're both in a pretty good spot. They definitely both should be in playoff contention, at least. I'm not saying they're both going to be meeting up in the finals here in year number one, but they definitely should be somewhere close to hopefully the top of their respective conferences. It's funny, I didn't even realize we got Ben Simmons back in Philadelphia. What an experiment that was. Ben Simmons, Colin Sexton, Anthony Edwards, Danilo Gallinari, and Domantas Sabonis is going to be the starting five here in Philly for year number one. It is not a bad start. I definitely have had worse starting fives than this. So that is something I will definitely take in year number one. The bench is definitely something that might need a little bit of work at some point. Going to be Goran Dragic, Alperen Sengun, Blake Griffin, Damian Lee, and Patrick Williams getting some minutes as well. So we got a nice 10-man rotation here in Philadelphia. We move over here to Portland, and we're working with a 9-man. James Harden's not going to have a backup. He's going to be our starting point guard, followed by Jordan Poole, Taylor Horton Tucker, Draymond Green, and Mitchell Robinson. So bang for bang, I kind of want to lean if everybody's fully healthy and playing at their best. I might give it the edge to Philly a little bit, but I think this Portland team's low-key got some fight in them. So we will see. The bench is definitely also better here in Portland as well. Devin Vassell, Ivica Zubac, Zeke Naji, and Kendrick Williams were, again, as I mentioned, 9-man rotation here. We really don't need a backup for James Harden when he's going to be playing so many minutes per night, if you will. But again, I think both of these teams are in a really good spot. I also want to mention I was not dumb, and I did go ahead and I remembered to turn off previously traded picks. So every team has their own picks. Obviously, this is the most fair way to do it in a fantasy draft rebuild. But again, I think both of these teams are in a great spot. I could definitely see them both being pretty high in their respective conferences. And again, only time will tell. I will see you guys at the end of year number one. First regular season for both these teams comes to an end. Obviously, I can only see how one of them is doing throughout the season. We decided to stick with Philly this year, and it wasn't a bad first season at all. We ended up 4th here in the Eastern Conference, number 8 in the power rankings. I can take that. We didn't make a ton of moves with these teams. Luka Doncic, first career MVP, is in Detroit. Good for him. Evan Mobley, 6 man of the year. Rookie of the year is in Cleveland. Russell Westbrook, 6 man of the year, is in New Orleans. Giannis Antetokounmpo, defensive player of the year. Daniel Gafford, most improved. Steve Nash, looks like Brooklyn's pretty good at 61 and 20. Jesus, 61 and 21. All right, here. Portland ended up as a 4 seed as well, so we got 2 4 seeds right now. Nothing too bad. We both have some first-round matches, one with the Clippers, one with the Miami Heat. I'll show you both of them just because, again, it's a fantasy draft. We don't really exactly know how either of these teams are looking. So 49 and 33 here for Philadelphia and 50 and 32. So relatively even records for these squads. Again, neither of them was that bad. I didn't think either of them was that great either, but it's a first year. I will take it. Got Dennis Schroeder, Klay Thompson, DeMar DeRozan, Wendell Carter Jr., Derek Favors. They got Aaron Gordon, Gary Trent Jr. Good bench for them over there in LA. That's who Portland's got in the first round. Over here in the East, we got Miami. We got Kyle Lowry, Jordan Clarkson, Jimmy Butler. Wow, so they actually ended up with 2 Heat players and a former Heat player in Justice Winslow. They got Kristaps Porzingis, Cam Johnson, Thomas Bryant. Not a bad 5 seed right there. Let's sim the play-in real quick, and let's go game by game. I'll try to watch both of these very closely. We win game 1. The Western game has not happened yet. Portland wins game 1 as well. We win game 2. This is going to be this is going to test my commentary skills. We're up 3-0 here, and they're up 2-0. So looking pretty good so far. We're up 3-1. They're up 2-1, so we both lose a game. The Philadelphia 76ers are on to the next round. I'm going to switch over to Portland right now, and we're going to go ahead and hopefully win the best of 3 now here against LA. They take game 5. We are hopefully going to take game 6, and we lose. And we are officially out here in the Western Conference in round number 1. So we do not get it done first year. I wasn't really expecting to. That's fine. We now move our focuses to hopefully next year. But again, I'm not just going to give up on the 76ers playoff run. I'm going to see how far we can make it. They got CJ McCollum, Pat Connaughton, Bojan Bogdanovic, Tobias Harris, and Nikola Jokic over there. Wow, that's a pretty good Brooklyn team. All right, we'll go game by game with them, see if we can sneak by them as well. We're actually up 2-0 on them. 2-1. All right, we're putting the hurt on them on the road. It looks like we can't do much in our home court. And we're going to a game 7 after being up 2-0. That's not what you love, but we win. And moving on to Toronto here. So we got home court advantage here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Drew Holiday, Terrence Davis, LeBron James, Clint Capella, Jakob Poeltl. This is an interesting front court. Kevin Porter Jr., Will Barton, Dwight Powell. Not a bad bench there as well for Toronto. But let's see if we can maximize and win here in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're up 3-1 against them. We're on to the NBA Finals. Us and the Clippers. Schroeder, Thompson, DeMar, Wendell Carter Jr., Rashawn Holmes. So the team that actually ended up beating the Portland Trailblazers, our other team in round 1 of the Western Conference playoffs, is going to be taking on our other team here in Philadelphia. That's a lot to unpack. But let's see if we can get it done here in round 1 for the Philadelphia 76ers. We are up 2-1. We're 2-2, so another best of 3 series. We go down 3-2. And again, I'm not going to hop into games like this because the only time I want to hop into something like this and a rebuild like this, if you will, is if I have both teams in the finals. It just doesn't really feel the same if I don't. Game 7 here. Can we get it done in year number 1 here with Philadelphia? And we do! Anthony Edwards, at the age of 20, out here winning Finals MVP. Very impressive numbers from the youngster. And so we get a championship with Philadelphia. Albeit that's not exactly the goal, but we do get it done. So I'm not going to complain about it. Obviously, our goal is not yet completed. But, you know, it feels good to at least get a championship in the first year, especially as a 4 seed. I was also able to turn off league meetings. I realized that's something I can do. I know it was something I was able to do. I just never did it because I'm lazy, if I'm being honest. But it's off in today's video. I don't know if it's going to be off in future videos. But for now, we'll just pretend, you know, it's never there. We'll sim the draft lottery. We definitely don't have any picks. We didn't trade any picks. It's Thunder, Pelicans, Bulls, Jazz, Magic as your top 5. I will work on a little bit of staff signing here. I mean, Doc Rivers just won us a championship, so I'm not going to fire him. Chauncey Billups is okay. I don't love him. Stauffer's obviously here. We just don't have the biggest budget, but honestly, if I can get Stauffer, I know sometimes he'll sign for like this contract exactly, and he will. Cool. That is fine by me. We're up to the draft. I'm going to make a couple moves with both these teams. I'll see you guys with them. Here in Philadelphia, we have the 30th overall pick and the 23rd overall pick in round number 2. I don't want either of them. I'm just going to send them to New Orleans, and we're just going to get 2 future seconds. That's our first kind of small-ish move. We're going to probably head back over to Portland right now. See what the pick situation is kind of looking like over here. We have 23 in the first round and 25 in the second round. I could maybe use 23. What I might try to do is maybe package some of these guys and maybe upgrade the bench unit a little bit. I think that might be a smart move. So we got a small trade done with Philadelphia. Let's see if we can maybe make a little bit of a bigger one here with Portland. Big trade here coming with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Draymond Green, Usman Garuba going to be going over there. We're going to be picking up Michael Porter Jr. and Poku. The reason I'm doing this trade, as I'm sure many of you do know, unfortunately, Draymond Green does start to regress really hard around this time pretty much every single year in 2K when you're simming seasons. So it's unfortunate. If this was real life, I'm not trading Draymond Green in this circumstance. The only reason I'm doing this is because 1, Draymond's going to start regressing, and 2, I know how much Michael Porter Jr. progresses. So it's kind of a win-win for us. We're also picking up a much younger player. So overall, that's a W. We didn't even have to give up a first-round pick. So welcome to the team, MPJ and Poku. That's a trade made in Portland. We might have a couple more, potentially one coming up in Philadelphia. Pretty big blockbuster here coming for us on the Philadelphia 76ers side. Danilo Gallinari, Patrick Williams, and 2 first-round picks heading over to Detroit. Mikal Bridges and Jonathan Isaac going to be coming back here for us in Philadelphia. Now, the reason I'm doing this trade, you might be saying, hey, why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You just want a championship. I'm getting some young pieces here that I really have a good feeling are going to be helpful for us. I think Jonathan Isaac, obviously, I don't have injuries on. He's going to stay healthy. It sucks what's happening to him in real life. He's going to be my starting power forward, and I think what I'm going to do is probably move Anthony Edwards down to the shooting guard spot and leave Bridges there at that starting small forward spot. So not a small move by any caliber. We're giving up 2 first-round picks and 2 former, well, not starters, but Gallo started and Williams had a lot of potential on a championship team. So that's a big move no matter which way you go about it. Overall wise, though, I think it's a home run for us. Welcome to the team. And then our final probably trade really that's going to be coming is just here with the Celtics. I decided not to use my first-round picks this year in Portland. I didn't really think I was going to be getting anybody valuable at all. So no first-round pick, no second-round pick this year. We will officially sim up past the NBA draft. We have none in Philadelphia either. Team player options, Harden declines. He's definitely somebody I want to re-sign. We're going to be bringing back all these guys here for us in Portland. And then I have to head... Wait, what in the world? You should just let me sim right over here. All right, let me just go check on Philadelphia. Okay, that's how I do that. Cool. We'll bring back Ish Smith. He could be a decent trade piece for us. Maybe just a first-round pick, something like that. Qualifying offer, Sexton's definitely getting it. And I guess I have to scroll all the way back here to Portland. We have none anyways. Cool. We're good there. Let's now head up to free agency, where obviously James Harden is my number 1 concern here in Portland. He has a couple offers. The only real offer here is from the Thunder. I think he's going to want to come back here. So I'm going to give him a lot of money. I can give him up to $46.5 million per year. What I'm actually going to do is probably give him, what is that? Let me do math. That's a 4-year, $162 million deal. Let me just break out the old calculator. Let's see. 162 divided by 4. So they're giving him like 40.5 per year. I'm going to give him the money, obviously. I just don't know if he's even going to last that long. So, like, we'll see. I'll probably give him like 42 a year with a player option on that 5th year. We'll do it. I'm hoping he accepts it. Yeah, he's going to. So it's just a little bit more money overall in the long run. I think it's going to work out well for us. Again, I'm not 100% that I'm going to keep him this entire video, but I'm definitely not just going to let the dude walk. And then I'll probably give Mitchell Robinson around $20 million a year. PJ Dozier can honestly go. We will now head over here. How do I do this again? Do I have to go like this? Can I really not switch over to what in the world? Okay. That's weird. I guess I'm going to have to find another way to switch over to... How do I switch over to, like, Philadelphia? All right, let me play with this for a second because it's not letting me do anything right now, and that sucks. All right, so I guess the way I have to do it is, like, click on qualifying offers and scroll through them. Like, typically, like, this should move me between teams. I don't know why it's not right now, but I want to make sure I get my free agents back here in Philadelphia. Like, I don't want to just let Colin Sexton go. That was weird. I'll bring back Damian Lee, like $2.5 million. It's not really a huge deal. So now I have to play this game. That's really gonna suck. Sorry, my leg's trapped in my bed. Like what the hell? So I guess I just have to keep doing this. Like this. How is there not an easier way for this? I don't know. Whatever. Harden's back. We should be good. I'm going to scroll back over to Philadelphia and just make sure that Sexton doesn't get an offer because I really want him back. So, yeah, this is just so annoying. Like, it used to be so much easier unless I'm just, like, straight up missing something. No, I'm not. Okay, cool. All right, we'll wait. Hopefully Harden's back. That would really suck if he wasn't, but he should be. And then now I'm just going to give Colin Sexton money. I'm not going to pay him this much throughout the entire video. He'll obviously be traded at some point. I don't want to keep him on the bench for that price tag. I was trying to go down here to team selection, and I thought if I unclicked the Trailblazers that it wouldn't let me re-click them, so I didn't do that, but good God. All right, let's check out both these rosters. That was a nightmare. Simmons and Ish Smith. I'd like to upgrade Ish Smith. We have Edwards, we have Sexton, so I'm fine with both of those guys. We brought back Damian Lee. He could be an asset to be traded or just maybe could be moved to or for another guy at the small forward spot. Jonathan Isaac's here now, and then we do have Sengun and Azubuike as well. Azubuike might get moved for a backup power forward, but again, we can kind of figure that out as we're going. I like this team in Philadelphia a lot. I still have to go all the way up here to qualifying to go check out my Trailblazers. Thank God they're at least kind of close. All right, let's go ahead and check out this squad. James Harden will not have a backup. I'm not 100% sure on Jordan Poole in the long term. In real life, I would be. In this game, I'm not. So yeah, the power forward spot's also not great. We obviously moved on from Draymond Green. We're going to make a decision or two, though, that's hopefully going to upgrade this team because I think they definitely need it. So I'll see you guys with the trade here in Portland. So I have no idea the level of interest that the Memphis Grizzlies will have in this sort of deal. Obviously, it's kind of funny that Jaren Jackson Jr. did end up on Memphis here in the fantasy draft. But I need to upgrade the power forward spot. Obviously, I gave up Draymond Green and added Michael Porter Jr. I thought that was a smart move just because of progression and regression. But now we kind of have to sell the soul a little bit, give up a lot of bench pieces and a lot of capital, honestly, to try to upgrade that power forward spot. So if we want to give all this up for Jaren Jackson Jr., I will do it. I'll give you the first-round picks if you want them because, honestly, I need a power forward, and I need a power forward now. So what we're just going to try to do is just sweeten the pot as much as possible. And will they take this? They will not. You want Poku? Is that a little bit better? Cool. That was so much and probably so unnecessary, but I needed that upgrade there, and because both of these teams have to meet up in the finals, I don't really have much of a choice. So what I'm probably going to do is give this team another year of development. Honestly, I might move like Greg Brown right now for a backup center just because I really don't have one, or I maybe could move Chris Clemens for a first-round pick or just something, just because I got to make those moves. So what we're going to do right now is Greg Brown. I'm looking for a backup center for you, or a first-round pick, whatever it may be. Nick Richards, fine by me. Welcome to the squad. And now I'm going to go ahead and move Chris Clemens, who is just not needed at all. I don't need a backup point guard for a first-round pick. Actually, a first-round pick and a trade exception here from the LA Clippers. Beautiful. So this team right here in Portland should be all set. Hopefully James Harden's regression isn't too crazy. Hopefully Jordan Poole's progression is a little bit crazy. I'd like that. This bench has gotten a little bit better. I don't think it's still the best thing in the world, but it should be good enough. And then let me just scroll on over here to Philadelphia because apparently that's the only way to get through this menu. What I want to do with this team at this point is maybe upgrade that backup point guard spot. I might try to combine Damian Lee and Ish Smith in a deal. And then maybe also look for some backups at the small forward spot and the power forward spot respectively through free agency. So let's see some options here. Thad Young, just a little old. Gabriel Deck is here. Could go Josh Richardson. It's actually not a bad option. I kind of like that option a lot. So Josh Richardson, welcome to the squad. He will be the newest backup for Mikal Bridges, and then we're going to figure out a backup power forward spot probably with Azubuike in the deal. So what I'm going to do right now is look for a trade for Udoka Azubuike. Again, I'm sorry these off seasons are going to take forever. This is going to be a long video probably just because, again, of, you know, kind of how many moves I have to make with all these teams just because... Yeah, you know, we're doing two teams, not one today. And yeah, let's go ahead and I need a backup power forward. I'm not getting offered any, so cool. We'll do that. And then how about a power forward for Ish Smith or Damian Lee? I'll try both of them first, and then we can kind of test the waters, if you will, see some options potentially. At the power forward spot, Trey Lyles isn't horrible. Corey Kispert, he's listed as a small forward. JaMychal Green in a first-round pick. Beautiful, fine by me. All right, both of these teams should be all set. Ben Simmons will not have a backup. I'm 100% fine by that. I know I said I might trade for a new backup point guard, but honestly, I'll just let Simmons roll. I think the 9-man rotation works better anyways. After a very long offseason and a very painful offseason of me scrolling back and forth between these two teams in legitimately the most inconvenient way possible, I think we're all set. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. After a long, painful process of finding out how I actually have to scroll through teams, it's just like, I don't know what they changed in this. This might be my first time doing a 2-team rebuild here on 2K22, but like, they made it so much more challenging to swap from the 2 teams that you're controlling. I don't know why they did, but here in Portland right now, as you can see, James Harden's regressing a little bit, unfortunately, down to an 88. Depending on how this season goes, we will address that this offseason, but I don't think it should be too bad. Harden, Poole, Michael Porter Jr., Jaren Jackson Jr., and Mitchell Robinson is the starting 5. Devin Vassell, Zeke Naji, Kenrick Williams, and Nick Richards. So it's 9-man rotation for both these squads. If you want to see how I have to do this, I have to go into trades, trade player, and then swap over to Philadelphia. I don't know why it's so complicated, but it is. Ben Simmons, Anthony Edwards, Mikal Bridges, Jonathan Isaac, and Montes Sabonis here in Philadelphia for year number 2 as the starting 5. Our bench unit: Colin Sexton, Alperen Sengun, Josh Richardson, and JaMychal Green. If I had to pick one, I'm probably going to lean Philadelphia still a little bit better. Again, I think the best player might probably still be in Portland in James Harden, but that doesn't always translate to the most wins. So we'll see. I'm confident a little bit more in Philadelphia than I am in Portland, but our goal is to still get them to both meet up in the finals. I will see you guys at the end of year number 2 here. So I simmed with Philadelphia this year, so I only know how they did record-wise in the conference, and they were first here in the East. But a good sign is that James Harden won the MVP award over there for Portland. So I'm hoping that means that they had a really good regular season. And again, James Harden played well. I don't really have a reason to trade him at this point. We'll address it this offseason depending how the playoffs go. So, James Harden, MVP award. Congrats. Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year, is in Oklahoma City, potential number 1 overall pick in the 2022 NBA Draft. Kevin Porter Jr., 6th Man of the Year. Jonathan Isaac, Defensive Player of the Year. That's huge for us. Kevin Porter Jr. wins Most Improved. Doc Rivers, Coach of the Year. We go 62-20 here in Philadelphia. And Portland's a 1 seed as well. So that's absolutely huge. They finished with a record of, I can't even fucking tell because this game's so goddamn dumb. I can just find it when I just go to the menu, but okay, whatever. Okay, let me go ahead. I also forgot, I realized I didn't show stats last year, so that's my bad. Portland went 56-26, 62-20. So hoping we're, kind of leaning for a matchup of 2 championship caliber teams here. James Harden led this team in scoring. Then it was Jordan Poole, Jaren Jackson Jr., MPJ, Mitchell Robinson, Vassell, Zeke Naji, Kenrick Williams, Nick Richards, Mo Harkless a little bit. Over here in Philly, it was Anthony Edwards, Colin Sexton off the bench. Holy hell. I'm not even starting Sexton. My goodness. I mean, I guess I do have a lot of defensive-minded players in this team, so I guess somebody's got to score, but we shall see. So both these teams are going to be playing against a play-in team here in round number 1. Let's sim that play and see what we got. We got Miami and Golden State, respectfully. I will check out both these squads and see who we got here in round number 1. CJ McConnell, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jimmy Butler, Justice Winslow, Tingus Pingus over there for the Miami Heat. And over here for Portland, it's going to be Damian Lillard, Jalen Suggs, AJ Griffin, Al Horford, Jarrett Allen. 2 good teams. I think we're probably better than both of them, though, with our respective teams. So 1-0 here in Philly, 2-0. We lose game 1 over there in Portland. We're up 3-0. We lose. Okay, hang on just a minute. I do not want to keep losing games. All right, we get a game here in Portland. We get another game. Philadelphia won. We don't have to worry about them. We're not choking this on the main stage, right? There's just no way. There's just no shot we're losing to that team in round number 1. No, we're winning this game. Thank you. Moving on to round number 2, we got San Antonio here for Portland. Tyrese Haliburton, Jalen Green, Herbert Jones, Giannis, James. What? How in the world? That's not fair. Charlotte here, Alonzo Ball, Jalen Brunson, Jason Tatum, Scotty Barnes, Xavier Tillman. So 2 not fun second-round matchups for both of these teams, if I'm being honest. We are both up 2-0, though. We're both up 3-0. Okay, Philadelphia's moving on. Can Portland move on? Oh, do not play game. I do not want to play the game. Sorry about that. Sim game. No. Okay, cool. Again, both these teams in their respective conference finals. Philadelphia taking on Washington. Portland taking on Minnesota. We will check them out. Derrick Rose, Tyler Hero, Paul George, Jayshawn Tate, Jalen Duran, Daniel Gafford over there. For the Washington Wizards, over here for the Timberwolves, DeJounte Murray, Donovan Mitchell, Julian Champagnie. I don't know. Spencer Dinwiddie's playing power forward. What in the hell is going on? What the? I don't know. Game by game, we both win game 1. We both win game 2. We're up 3-0 here in Portland. Philadelphia drops 1. Philadelphia drops 2. That does not make me comfortable. Portland's moving on to the finals. Moment of truth. We are one game away from successfully completing the challenge. Can we get it done here? We do! And the challenge is complete. Oh, God, thank God. This video has been long enough, so if I'm being honest with you, I'm going to end it after this season anyways, just because it's been such a long challenge, but that feels good, man. I would have gone a third season if we didn't complete it, but thank God we did. So who do I want to play with now is kind of the real thing. I'm kind of feeling this Portland team. I'm not going to lie to you. I like both these teams. Honestly, I'm just going to play with whoever's up in the series. That's what I'm going to do. We'll go game by game. These are both very good teams. I'd actually like to go to a game 7, but I guess I'll have to sim it with Simcast. Whoops, actually, I should be on Philadelphia. If this game's like not close or anything, because Portland's obviously up in the series. Wait, no, Philly's up in the series, right? Shit, I have no idea. I already blanked. All right, well, Philly's up. Yeah, Philly is up in the series. Yeah, they are. Okay, cool. Now I got to pick. I'm gonna play with Portland no matter what. I don't really know. I don't really care. I think both these teams are good enough to play with. I'll have fun with either of them, but I'm just going to get some gameplay. I guess I chose the wrong team because we are down 91 to 49 here with 10 and a half minutes left to go in the third quarter of Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Yeah, I think I picked wrong. I think that's a pretty safe bet. I'll get a little bit of gameplay, but yeah, Portland, congrats. You're letting your opponent score 141 points in closeout game of the NBA Finals. All right, so we are just getting absolutely smoked here in Philadelphia right now. Honestly, it's fine. I mean, I won a championship really no matter who I was going to be playing with, but not the thing you like to see the most. Like, you know, when you have two championship caliber teams, one of them getting blown out by like 40 points in Game 7 of an NBA Finals, but honestly, it's fine by me. I'm pretty much trash at this game anyway, so it really doesn't matter what I do. So yeah, let's just control the narrative a little bit and see if we can maybe go on and not make this as much of a blowout. I mean, I don't really care if I'm being honest, but Jared Jackson Jr. doing your thing. Jordan Poole, we're going to push it. I don't know why Zeke Najee's in the game right now. That's just not what I was looking for. Let's just give it back here to Jordan Poole. A little pick and roll potentially here with Poole. Poole going right down to the... My button right here is like so stuck because the only time I actually ever play this game is legitimately when I'm making a video. That's like the only thing. I can't wait till after I don't want to graduate. That's kind of an off point, but I was going to say, like, once I graduate, I'm going to start streaming, and I'm, like, actually really excited for that. So I'm not just going to be streaming 2K. There's going to be some other games as well. I don't really play a ton of, like, crazy games that people stream. Like, I don't really play Fortnite or, like, Apex or anything. I do play Warzone, though. Because my goal right now is I don't know how many of you guys, sorry, I know I'm not talking about the gameplay right now, but I don't know how many of you guys actually like genuinely enjoy or watch Warzone. I'm tragically bad at it, but I'll try to make it somewhat entertaining. But like, that's like a game that I could see myself streaming because like I don't really love like streaming 2K for hours on end. I don't really love making like videos of this game like every single day, if I'm being honest anyway. So like if I can stream for a couple hours, you know what I'm saying? Because I am going to have some 9-to-5 job where I'm going to want to hate myself every single day. So I can come home, relax a few hours, play some Warzone, maybe play a little 2K in there, maybe some other game, a little Madden, if you will. So let me know your thoughts on that down below if you made it to this section of the video. Again, I will address that all in a video after I graduate and go over my full plans and everything. But I thought I'd bring it up for, you know, you guys who made it to this part of the video. And at least get your thoughts down below in the comment section potentially. So let me know what you guys want to see. If you guys are like big Warzone fans, you might not know that I know Warzone on PS5 right now, which I play on, does not yet have an FOV slider, so I'm stuck on 80 FOV while all these consoles, all these PC guys are on 120, so a little bit of an advantage, but I might be getting a PC at some point anyways, and I know next gen Warzone, when Warzone 2 comes out, we'll be going ahead and having an FOV slider for PS5, so I could just wait and could just stream on my PS5, but I'll go over it all with you guys probably in some sort of live stream anyways once I do graduate, and that's coming up in about 6 weeks. So crazy to think that the time flies that much. We're pretty much going to call this one right now. I'm sorry I just kind of dumped my life plans on you guys. I'll see you guys with the finals MVP here for Philadelphia. We got our two teams into the finals in year number 2. This video has been long enough. That is why I'm ending it now. We have been recording for over an hour at this point. I don't know how long the actual video is going to be. And Domantas Sabonis is your finals MVP. So I will give you guys both one more look at both of these squads. If I'm being honest, I really love the way they both came out. This was the Philadelphia team that ultimately won the championship. And this right here was the Portland team that ultimately lost the championship. So 2 overall really good, solid squads. These videos are a lot harder when they change around some of the menu layouts and stuff like that, when I have to battle back and forth between the two teams that I'm using, but overall it was still a fun video and we still accomplished our goals. So if you guys enjoyed it, leave a like down below. That would mean a lot to me. If you guys just heard me rant about kind of my plans after I graduate college, let me know your thoughts on all those down below. Of course, my Twitter DMs are always open if you want to chat on there as well. But other than that, that pretty much wraps this one up. Let me know some other 2K challenges or videos you guys want to see. Of course, if you guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel, join the community. We'd love to have you. That wraps up this one. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.